Welcome to Milers Mods, ladies and gentlemen. So, this is another episode of Blaster Chat. Today's episode is free stuff and influencers. Okay, this is what I know. Okay, because I've gotten a couple free products here and there. Like, usually mainly what I get is parts, though. Okay, like I've gotten parts for various blasters for little or no cost. Sometimes I've had to pay half of what the product is worth or whatever. Now, this is how it works. Okay, let's say, because a bunch of y'all were complaining that this company here was basically spamming your Facebook feed and everything else with this blaster and every other blaster like it, which I get. Now, what happened was that this company here, Siren, they sent out a whole bunch of blasters to influencers for free. Okay? I did not get one of those blasters or any of them. I paid money for mine. Okay? Now, a lot of people have said, yeah, well, they're paid for advertisements. Some of them are. Some of them aren't. But it's very hard to tell, unless, but the way that you're going to look at it is like, let's say it's a subscriber count thing, okay? In order to, the more subs that you get, the easier it will be to get free things. Such as you really don't start getting free stuff until you've hit about 1,000 subs. And then you may get a freebie here and there, but it's very, very rare. It's very, very hard to get one. Okay, I mean, I've gotten like maybe 4 or 5 blasters for free. A couple of them I've paid half of what they were worth, or half of what they were selling, quote, as special, as what they would call like influencer pricing, I guess you want to call it. But still, though, half of a blaster that costs $400, you're still paying $200. Okay. But what happens though is that when you get to about 1,000 subs, that's when you want to that's when you want to draft a form letter, and update this form letter every so often, basically stating who you are, whatever, and start emailing out these companies, right? You won't get any response immediately. You may not get any response for a while. But once you get to like 3,000 subscribers, let's just say, it gets a little bit easier to start getting product, or free things. Such as, a friend of mine got he got one of the new tactical unicorns for free. He's got like 3,500 subs up. You see what I mean? So just putting that out there. But once you get above 3,000 subs, it starts to get easier. Now, I know some of you people are saying, yeah, well, some of these reviews shouldn't be trusted. Okay, now this is my take on that. When you see reviews like for this blaster or for any of the other ones that were paid for interviews or should I say paid for reviews, okay, the way that you're going to look at it is if it comes from any of the big three, aka Drac, Walcom, or Dr. Flux. And keep in mind, I love Dr. Flux to death. Drac's a decent person as well. Usually they get their products sent to them for free. Okay? The reason being is they have the subscriber count behind it to back them up. They've got well over 10,000 subs apiece. You see what I mean? Things like that, it makes me not want to trust with some of the reviews, unless you know the reviewer personally, like I know Flux pretty well. I know Drac pretty well too, but then again, I've been in the community for a long time, so, but that's neither here nor there, if you want a more honest review, go to somebody that has less than 2,000 subs to watch the product review of that blaster on his channel. The reason being is he didn't get the blaster for free. I can almost guarantee you he had to pay for it. Okay, me, I've paid for 99% of my blasters. and 99% of my parts. Like I said, I've gotten 5 blasters in my whole time of doing YouTube, and only one of them was a really good blaster, my Clear S100S. The rest of them were mediocre at best. But it is what it is. Still a win is a win and free is free. And I've gotten quite a few random parts, or random bits, as some people would call them in Australia. For certain blasters, or like, and like I bought a 3D printed blaster one time, and the guy charged me half of what it was worth. Basically, he just charged me for the hardware, and he printed it out himself for me, is what it is. But that's just it. In order to get free stuff, you have to put into work for it. Okay, that's bar none. When you get to, and people say, well, I've got enough blasters, I could do YouTube. Yeah, you certainly could. But it's hard to get to 3,000 subs, and that's about when it starts to get easier. When you get to 3,000, it starts to get easy. When you get to 5,000, it starts to get easier. You get to 7,000, it starts to get really easy. When you get to 10,000, companies are just throwing product at you right and left for review. That's when you'll save money. The first couple thousand subs, you're basically going to be paying for every blaster out of your pocket. That's why if you guys want to go see like an honest review, a quote honest review, a real honest review, go to somebody's channel like Secondhand Blasters or myself or anybody that has less than 2,000 subs, because odds are that they paid for that blaster. I can almost guarantee it, because nobody gave it to them. I've gotten a couple blasters, a couple of my subs have sent me random bits. Sam Davidson sent me a Twist Fury, and some darts and stuff like that, ZWQ sent out my bays to me for free. I got an XM1014 from Xanadu Toys. I got a couple other blasters off of sellers on Amazon. But other than that, mainly I've gotten parts. Me personally, if I had to take a choice between blasters and parts, I would rather have the parts. Because then I can use the parts to build other blasters or improve the blasters I have already. Just saying. But everything that isn't, every review is a little different, and some of them, they don't pay for their items, so it's very hard to get somebody who's not jaded by like, oh, look, it's free stuff. You kind of have to take people's reviews like that with a grain of salt. If they were sent their blaster for free, first of all, good on them for putting in the work, and I won't shit on them for doing it. But that always just makes me personally, because I'm skeptical of everything, it would make me scratch my head a little bit and say, I wonder if it's really as good as what it is, or something like that, and that's just it, but that's how it is. In order to get free stuff, you have to put in the work for it. You have to have at least 3,000 subs to start off with to get anything free measurably or anything like that, and the further and the more subs you have, the easier it becomes. Once you get to 10,000 subs, that's when you start getting blasters from like Worker, when you start getting free stuff from Dart Zone and maybe even Hasbro. But in any event, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this episode of Blaster Chat on free stuff and how to get free stuff. And until next time, this is Miller's Mods signing off.